Inside the Criminal Justice Center today, the jury selection process got underway for the case involving Maurice Hill. The 41-year-old Philadelphia man is accused of shooting 6 Philadelphia police officers in August 2019 during an hours-long standoff in the Nicetown Tioga section of North Philadelphia. Officials say the incident started unfolding around 4:30 that afternoon after narcotics officers served a warrant to a home near North 15th and West Butler Streets. It prompted a massive law enforcement response and forced a residential community into lockdown for more than 7 hours. During that time, Hill is alleged to have fired more than 100 rounds. 2 Philadelphia police officers and 3 civilians were trapped inside the row home and were eventually safely evacuated by members of the SWAT team. Hill eventually surrendered and was taken into custody. Court documents show it wasn't the first time he had run-ins with police. His rap sheet dates back about 2 decades and includes a sentence of nearly 5 years in federal prison. Jury selection process got underway for the case involving...
So yeah, man, like, that's why this is why KRASNER's gotta go. Because throughout this whole period, this whole time period, this is why the now sitting DA Larry KRASNER gotta go. His soft on crime, this whole democratic approach that he takes with these very, very hardened criminals, this is why DA KRASNER's got to go. Okay? And we're not playing this game anymore, man. We're not playing it no more. We're gonna get into this. All right, so look, right? I'm gonna go back to it. So I'm gonna read some of these Instagram messages about all these people. They said, look, here we go. Mr. Holdies, set him free. Cops kill citizens more than citizens kill cops. Cops still patrolling the streets while being illegal. So, nigga, shut up. Shut up. Who is this? Who is this guy? Who is this clown? Mr. Holdies. Mr. Holdies, and it looked like you used to be of some kind of military. So, set this man, so this is what you saying, right, bro? You about to be on the tune-up show, good bro. Yeah, this is his thing. Hoodville. Asking for bills to be paid. Broke. What? Yeah, bro. Yeah. We see Mr. Holdies. Set him free. Cops kill citizens more than citizens kill. Man, you full. You know what? People like him, people like this guy, right? People like him, Mr. Holdies, Ray, you a clown dude for saying that, because it's on record that black men kill each other day in and day out. Almost 20-1 when a cop kills a black man. Okay? So for you to have been some kind of military person, you know you lying. You just saying a bunch of stuff just to get whatever it is you want to get. My man, here it is. We're going to move on. K. Johnson, 3126. I remember this. He was high on wet, and he wasn't going to let the police unalive him first. Y'all know the police are known to escalate and not de-escalate. All right, so basically, anyone that's commenting on this, most likely, they're for the BS. They're for the chaos. You know what I mean? So we're gonna dig more into Maurice Hill real fast. All right. So here's a little article about Maurice Hill. I'm just gonna skip down a little bit. Police say Hill began firing at officers who were serving a narcotics warrant around 4:30 p.m. Wednesday at a home on the 3700 block of North 15th Street, which was, around the corner from him. They weren't even there for him. That's the crazy thing. The cops wasn't even there for Maurice Hill. So let's continue. The shooting continued sporadically throughout the night, wounding a total of 6 officers who were taken to the area hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. All of the officers have since been released from the hospital. Fox 29 learned Hill has an extensive criminal history including at least a dozen arrests since he was 18. Hill has been in and out of prison since 2002 after being convicted on charges including illegal possession of guns and aggravated assault. So yeah, Mr. Holdies. Yeah, Mr. Holdies. You still think he's supposed to be set free? Huh? You still think he's supposed to be set free? This man been in prison, in and out of prison since he was 18. He's 36 now. Okay? He's been in and out of prison more times than most teenagers of their age. Than the average teenage age. He's a menace. I'm surprised he came out because he was indicating to some that he wasn't going to do that and that he was not going back. And they weren't even there for him. That's the crazy thing. They weren't even there for him. So you already know what type time this guy's on. Okay? So yeah, he most likely was on wet. He most likely was on drugs. Okay? They said many of you have found out about his history. It's very significant. In fact, he told me on the phone he used the word extensive. He had an extensive criminal history and that he knew the system. This is why he was making the outlandish demands he was making. But here's the thing though, bro. And for anybody that's for him, oh, set him free, set him free. Oh, you know the cops, they do this, that, and the third. It don't matter. The cops weren't even there for him. That's the crazy part. That's the part y'all not understanding. The cops weren't even there for him. And this man took out his gun, his automatic weapon, and started firing on cops that weren't even there for him. I call that somebody on drugs. Somebody, honestly, look, I don't know, boy, and I don't know the people that know him, but see, these kind of criminals need to be taken out back in the courthouse, bang, bang, 2 in the head, and let it be done with. These people like Maurice Hill have already made up in their mind on what kind of citizen that they want to be. And that's no citizen. They don't want to be a citizen. They don't want to be a sovereign citizen. They don't want to obey the laws of the land. Okay, they've already made up in their head what kind of person they want to be. And that's a non-person. That's what they need to do. Take them out back, courthouse, pop, pop, pop. Put that sick puppy to bed, man. Put that sick puppy to bed. That's a sick puppy right there. I mean, my goodness, man. We shoot a horse. We'll shoot a horse down. If the horse break his leg, but we want to put a sick nigga out of his misery. That's wild, bro. That's really wild. So I'm gonna go ahead, go to DA KRASNER. He was on the Young Turks. I'm gonna go over his little spiel. All right, so obviously the whole Maurice Hill thing happened back in 2019. His case was postponed for 5 years. 5 years. I'm sorry, 6 years. His case was postponed. Okay, for whatever reason, I don't know. But this man that we about to talk about right now, Larry KRASNER, he's the reason why criminals like this are still walking among us and being menaces. He's the reason. Now watch him tap dance throughout this whole interview. And of course, I have my reserves about the Young Turks. I think these guys are shields as well. But look, let's get into it.
Here, Jenk. You know, it's been a long time since we never met, so it's good to see you.
Good to see you as well. All right, so Larry, I'm going to run down some of the, policies that you had, and then I want to talk about the good, and then discuss whether there was bad and whether crime did go up or not, right? So you were for any criminal charges against those caught with marijuana possession. So that one we don't have to discuss, check. Everybody agrees, there's no rational human being who says marijuana possession, you should go to jail for that. It's like going to jail for a Coors Light. Okay, great.
No, that's some bullshit. Look, marijuana is it decriminalized? Okay, you want to smoke weed in the confines of your home? That's cool. But let me tell you something. It should still be scrutinized. You people shouldn't. Every time I go out and I drive or go to work, I see at least a dozen people who got that blunt in one hand and driving in the other hand. Okay, I see a lot of guys driving around like this, and a lot of men and women driving around like this. Okay, that should never be. That should never be. But see, this city of Philadelphia, man, we got a reckoning coming for this city because we got people like Mr. Holdies and the rest of these liberal people that believe that these kind of criminals should be set free amongst us. So it's not just people like Larry Krasner. It's the people that encourage guys like Maurice Hill to stick around. You know what I mean? Because he brings excitement to the neighborhood. He's very unpredictable. Ooh, he can be my baby daddy. Y'all people are nuts.
Ending cash bail for those accused of some misdemeanors and nonviolent felonies. I'm going to come back to that. Reducing supervision for parolees. Going to come back to that. Seeking more lenient sentences for certain crimes. We'll come back to that. And pursued police misconduct and advocated for greater police accountability. I love that. Okay, so the ones that I'm going to come back to are about crime, and I definitely want to air that out with you. First, on better police accountability. Tell us what you did and then how it was received.
So what we did is applied the law in a way that is even-handed, and what that means is at this point, 7+ years into our administration, we have done things no prior administration did. We have convicted 2 different police officers of homicide.
Yeah, you exactly what you did. You didn't do anything about the crime. You just you pushed the blame. You chuck and jived, and you just cater to a city that's 40% of its occupants are on welfare, that's living off of the taxpayer dollars, the taxpayers, and you cater to that part of the city. You didn't cater to the people that actually pay your MFN salary, okay? You didn't do anything for them. You didn't do anything for us. You did it for you and your constituents. You're a piece of crap. You're a walking human piece of crap. And this is going to be the thumbnail picture of you now. I'm going to do it later, but this will be the thumbnail picture because that's what you are. You are a piece of human crap, buddy. You need to go. You need to go.
Homicide while they were on the job and on duty. We have convicted 3 homicide detectives either of perjury or false paperwork in connection with a conviction. There is.
Yeah, but I wonder how many of those, okay, yeah, perjury, false paperwork, whatever, okay? These cops, look, and I'm not sticking up for crooked cops. Crooked cops, they're part of the bad too. They're part of the bad systems too. But come on, are you serious? Bad paperwork? Okay, so let me tell you something. For a criminal that's been out in the streets, okay, and been let off and released just off of technicalities, but we know that what kind of criminal this person is. Look, man, that's why I say it all the time, man. Put these sick puppies to bed, man. Bang bang, that's it. Put them to bed, bro. Put them to bed.
Is a homicide detective doing 24.5 to 49 years in state prison for serially raping informants who were working with them, and needless to say.
All right, well, yeah, obviously that can't go. All right, you got CIs, you know, and they're there to help the detective catch the really bad guys. So if you're taking advantage of your CIs, which is your criminal informants, you know, you're taking advantage of them like that, then yeah, you got to go to, like I said, criminal, corrupt cops, they're part of the problem too. So yeah, I agree. That's fine with me.
It caused a lot of problems with the cases that he investigated that were homicide cases. So, I mean, those are a few of the cases that we've had. It's not that we're out to get cops or not get cops. It's just that we're out to be even-handed, and that means when you have 6,500 police officers, there are a few of them who are criminals, and they need to be prosecuted like anybody else.
So on this show, we talked a ton about police abuse and how it was so frustrating that nobody ever did anything about it, and they seem to be above the law. So on that count, I love what you're doing. Because of course they shouldn't be above the law. Of course they should serve him.
Yeah, no
just
shit.
to give you a sample of who he was, this is a guy who wants Nazi tattoos. So no, we didn't get along with him at all, and we're not this officer publicly showing the Nazi tattoos that he had on his.
All right, so yeah, we know what he's after. He's after
But the
cops.
one thing that I thought he should have done was fire more out of control cops, and you did that. So, or at least went after them when they actually committed crimes. So I appreciated that. Okay, that's great. So now let's go back to the.
And I'm gonna say something too before he starts. A lot of black people, they want to say, "Oh, Donald Trump's a racist," or there's always white racist cops that kill black people. Let me tell you something. Like I said in the beginning, black men kill more black men on average per capita than a white racist cop does, or white racist cops do, and that's fact. You can look those up, okay? And you know, if you want to ask me, okay, every time I wake up, every time I talk to people, all I hear is about is a ninja, or how a ninja is gonna kill another ninja. That's all I hear. Oh, I'm gonna kill that ninja. I'm gonna kill that ninja. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill this ninja. That's all I hear. So you tell me who the real racist is. You tell me who the real racist people are.
Crime issues. So, Larry, what people will say is that, well, crime went up in some of these years. You know, you first had your first election in 2017, and now it's obviously 2025. It's been about 8 years, and crime went up in some of the big cities for sure in 2019 to 2023. By the way, it's been coming down since, but let me show one graph of homicides in Philadelphia. And you see there that they spike significantly between 2019 and 2023, but then, or at least in that case, 2021, they start to head down, even though they're very large numbers still. But they've continued.
And you want to know why? Because if you're not from Philadelphia, you know why it started to decline in 23 and 24, because the citizens of Philadelphia had to start taking matters into their own hands. Okay? We had to set the record straight. Okay? That's when more guns were purchased. Between 21 and 2023, more law-abiding citizens purchased more guns, more handguns, because of idiot DA Larry KRASNER wasn't convicting these criminals, and they were arresting them and pushing them back out in the street. And the only reason why these numbers is declining like that in 23 and 22 is because the citizens of Philadelphia, the law-abiding citizens, had to start taking matters into their own hands. So go ahead and lie. I'm sorry.
Continued to go down since then. It's not just homicides. There's also other crimes that show a similar pattern. So the other side says, at least the other side from you says, yeah, look, you were a little bit too lenient, and that's why crime went up. How do you address that?
We address it with the truth. Here's the truth. Number one, today is the 28th of April, 2025. Homicides in Philadelphia today are the lowest that they have been on this date in 50 years.
Lies. Are we just going to casually forget about the Rizzo, Mayor Rizzo? We going to forget about him? Well, man, maybe. Well, all right, it was like 50 years. So it was been about 50 years ago since Mayor Rizzo was in office. And the crime in Philly stopped the matter because he actually was arresting and convicting. He was actually going forward with the conviction of hardened criminals. And yes, a lot of them happened to be black. Look, I'm not the person, I always talk about my complexion, okay? But look, not everybody my brother, and not everybody want to see me do good, okay? Because you got a lot of guys like Mr. Holdies, he's with the shits. He's with black men doing effed up things. So he can talk about it. He can laugh about it. But I guarantee you this, if somebody were to come to Mr. Holdies' door, his house where he lives, and try to start the rah-rah, I guarantee Mr. Holdees wouldn't be so lenient with his saying.
Okay, those are the facts. Not 5 years, 50 years, and that's good. It's even better when the Philadelphia police put up their public data, and out of the 18 categories of crime and subcategories, we're down in 15 of them. Part of what
Only reason why crime is down like it is in Philly right now, because for one, you got a new sitting president, and for two, the citizens are more inundated to take matters into their own hands. So now you got the criminals that either, you know, they're I think right now in Philly the criminals are at a choke point because they don't want to go to prison, but they still want to do crime, and they can't do the crime on people who they think is not carrying, because now most law-abiding citizens are carrying it now. A lot of law-abiding citizens are carrying weapons now, and guess what, Larry? If you still sit there like a dickhead and don't want to put these criminals behind bars and keep them there, let me tell you something. Every time you let them out, we'll just be putting them in the ground because you're not doing your job, and that's all that's going to happen.
What is disorienting here, and even your graph reflects it because your graph stops in 2023, is that in a 5-year period in the United States, we had the biggest up and the biggest down in violent crime in 5 years, biggest in recorded history. So it's pretty disorienting, and people don't necessarily catch up with the reality, which is that.
Like I said, and that's not because of you. That's not because of you. That's because of the citizens of this city have been doing their best to keep the crime away from their loved ones and from their neighborhood. That's why. It's not because of you. And most of the crime is very concentrated. Most of the violent crimes are concentrated in the north central area of Philadelphia, the central part of West Philadelphia, and the north and the northwestern central part of the northwest part of Germantown, Alany. Okay. So that's not you, okay? That's not because of you. That's because of citizens actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. You're not doing your job. You haven't been doing your job, and that's why you got to go, dummy.
That the pandemic period was one when the entire country was in free fall. We were suffering terribly for a whole lot of reasons. But we are in a different place now. Philadelphia is not just doing well like other big cities. We are 4 consecutive years into doing better than the average of big cities in terms of their improvement.
And that's not because of you. I'm going to stop this man's lies right now. I'm not going to keep listening to him. Look, if you're from Philadelphia, you already know what the score is. Okay? You already know what the score is. You know, you want to keep playing this game. You keep a lot of guys, you know, you want to keep playing these, you want to keep tap dancing around the real issue and the real problem. That's fine by me. You the one that's got to look yourself in the mirror. You the one that's got to go to sleep at night. You the one that's got to explain to your children how come black people keep killing black people. You are the one, as a father and as a mother, you're the one that's got to explain your actions and what you got to do. Okay? So let's get one thing straight. This guy, D.A. KRASNER, he's got to go. Goodbye. See you later. Don't want to be you. Don't want to, and I won't miss you. All right? You got to go. Because people like Maurice Hill should have been taken out of it. Should have been taken out of his misery. Okay? Because all guys like him want to do, they already had their mind made up. They've already sat down with whatever entity that they want to showcase for here on this earth, and they already say, hey, look, I'm with it. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. All right, guys like Maurice Hill, they've already sealed their fate. They already know what they're here to do, and that's what they're here to do. All right, so with that, I'm going to say peace and out. Y'all keep yourselves safe in Philadelphia, and go get yourselves a good old Philly cheesesteak at Jim Steaks, 4th and South. Let's do it!